our waiver. So welcome to Barre, everyone. My name is Claire. I'm going to read our waiver and then I'll give you a quick introduction into Barre. So in order to make these classes as freely accessible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you've moved any nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna send like one more time just in case anyone needs it and wants to listen to holiday music. So you can meet me on your mat. Welcome to Barre, everyone. If you are new to Barre, whether you're watching live or watching on our pre-recorded YouTube channel, Barre is a combination of yoga, Pilates, and ballet. We focus on moderate intensity movements that are high in repetitions and more body weight or low weight muscle workouts to give you a nice well-rounded workout for a week. But with that, we can go ahead and get started. So meet me on your mat, feet shoulder distance apart. We're just gonna start by closing our eyes, keeping a nice slight bend in those knees and rolling those shoulders backwards. It's a stressful time of year, so think about your intentions for today's class, what you have set for yourself, what you're looking to get out of it. Just like any of our classes here at the Rec, this is your workout. So whatever you need from today's class, I encourage you to take it and do what you need with that. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and shift to rolling our shoulders forwards. Once again, thinking about our intentions as we go into finals for 2, 1. All right, you can open your eyes. Feet still shoulder distance apart, keeping a slight bend in those knees at all times. We're gonna take our arms behind our back and flip them out so our palms are facing out to open up our chest. We're gonna point our right leg in front of us, and with that left leg still a little bit bent, we're gonna just lift our right leg off the ground and roll out that right leg, or that right foot. Just loosening up our muscles as we can switch directions now. Also working on our balance, so if you're having any issues with balance, just picking a spot in the room to fixate on with your eyes. All right, we can lower that down, then switch our weight to our right leg, lifting our left leg out and rolling clockwise or counterclockwise, and then switching directions. All right, we're gonna now transition to get our heart rate a little bit raised for our workout today. So making sure you have some room behind you. We're gonna start by doing some butt kicks. So just shifting your weight from leg to leg and kicking behind you. You've been maybe sitting all day like me, so we're gonna get our blood nice and flowing. We're gonna wake up those arms as well by bringing them out in front of us and bringing them to our back. Ooh, I got lost. Feeling those shoulder blades squeeze in between as you go backwards, maybe picturing there's a pencil in between them and you're squeezing them together, feeling that blood move, making sure when you shift your weight, you keep a nice bend in those knees. If you're listening to music, you can go to the beat. I sadly cannot listen along, but I listened to the playlist earlier, so I was getting into it so I could picture what you guys are listening to. All right, we're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. We're just gonna change our arms now. This time bringing them above our head and down. So down, down. Just once again, getting our blood flowing. Maybe we're starting to sweat a little bit. I actually am. I always say this, but my room kind of traps all the heat, so it gets really sweaty in here fast. All right, we have 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna finish up this movement by adding in a higher intensity movement. If you want low impact, you can just join me by kicking those feet back and punching those arms up. Or if you're looking for a higher impact version, you can just add a little jump, bouncing on your feet as we punch up, making sure you don't take something like I did, picking up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Make sure that blood is flowing, you have your breath nice and centered. We're gonna move our feet out into a nice wide second position stance. So this means your feet are a little bit more than shoulder distance apart. turned out, we're gonna go into a grand plie. So shooting those knees out to the side, making sure those knees don't go in front of your toes. And we're just going to straighten and plie. For these, you wanna picture you're sliding up and down a wall, meaning you have a nice neutral spine, your glutes aren't tucked in or out. And we can add in our arms now, stretching above to look up and then flowing down. Stretching and flowing. Nice lyrical movement. This is barre, and we are inspired by ballet, so I like to add in some lyrical movements. This is crazy because I've been teaching these virtual classes pretty much every week since June, I think. So it's been a while. I have a break over winter break, but if you're looking for some more content, you can always go to our YouTube page where we have all of my classes and many other classes recorded from our archives that will be uploaded every few days. All right, we have 4, 3, last 2, last 1. This time we're going to stay down and we're just going to shift our weight to our left leg, pointing that right toe to stretch above our body, coming back down and then shifting sides. So we're feeling that nice deep stretch on the side of our body. Also feeling our heart rate raise. Once it started getting dark out at 5 p.m., I had to enlist the help of one of my roommates. I got a bright lamp from her because it's so dark you couldn't see me. I was just very spooky and in the shadows. And I want you to be able to see me. All right, we have 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we're going to stay down in this plie position. We're going to lift our right heel off the ground and we're just going to pulse down. For our pulses throughout today's class, don't picture you're bouncing. Picture you're moving up an inch and down an inch. This will make sure you're really using those muscles, doing nice intentional movement. If you want to keep your arms a little bit busy, you can lift them above your head, lower them down in front of you to the side, and transition between these for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch our weight to our left knee, pulsing this, our left leg, pulsing. We can switch directions. Keeping our arms busy, doing a little bit of that mind-body connection, switching the directions. I always struggle with this. Even though I did ballet, I'm very uncoordinated. Good work, everyone. 1 second, slight issue. My computer, keep pulsing. Good work. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. We're going to finish up this movement by getting our heart rate nice and raised by doing some ballet bar squats. So we're going to start by going into our second position and just walking into first. For first position, you want your heels touching. Nice light view with those legs. And we're just going to walk back out to second. So walking to first, then walking out to second. This is the low impact version. If you are looking to get your heart rate a little bit more raised and you want to join me, we can do the high impact version, which is you're going to go from second, jump to first, jump to second, jump to first. You're never straightening your legs fully. You're keeping them bent at all times, making sure we keep that correct positioning so we're keeping that neutral spine. So we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. Straighten those legs, regain that breath. We're going to transition onto the floor. So take a minute, regain your breath. We're going to walk to the end of our mat, bring our hands above our heads and shoot them down with a nice flat back. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of our legs. Maybe you'll bend your right leg and then your left leg, just to deepen that stretch a bit. Good work. Now we're going to transition into our plank position. So walk your hands out with me. For our plank position, we want to draw a straight line from our shoulders to our wrists, spreading out those fingers nice and wide. Nice engaged core, flat back. Once we get comfortable with this, we can shoot our hips back into a downward dog. Looking in between our hands towards those toes. You can walk those, pedal those legs, or like we call walking the dog, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. All right, we're going to finish our workout, our warm-up, by coming into this plank position and doing 5 clean push-ups. So for your push-up, you can either be on your knees or up. We're just going to keep that plank position, shoot our arms out to the side, getting as low as the mat as we can, and straightening. So pick whatever option you want. We're doing 5. Here we go. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Drop those knees. Shoot your hips back into child's pose. That finishes up our warm-up. I am sweating a ton. We're going to transition now into our arms workout. We're going to start on the mat and then transition into standing. You do not need any weights during this. We will only be doing our body weight portion. So first, I'd like you to meet me in what I like to call static beast position. So you're gonna have your knees above your hips, like so, arms still in that plank position, and you're going to lift those knees off the ground. They're hovering about an inch off the ground, and we're staying here holding. This is also engaging our core as well as our hands. And once you get comfortable here, I just want you to shift your weight, tapping your shoulders. So the key here is you're not shifting too much. Using that core engaged, as well as those hands. Tapping. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Take a minute. Fall down on those knees. We're going to come onto our back now. We're going to do a little bit more work on our wrists, but I know we've been putting a lot of weight on them, so we're going to transition into standing soon. But first, I'd like you to meet me on your tailbone, sitting in front of you. We're going to bring our hands right by our shoulders, fingers facing towards our toes. We're going to lift our hips off the ground like we're in a crab position, and using our arms, we're targeting our triceps here. We're going to bend those arms to lower our hips as close to the ground as we can and straighten. So this is a tricep dip. If you want, you can do this on a couch or bench, like so. Or you can do it on the mat like me, whatever you prefer. So picking your option, we're going to lift our hips, lower, and straighten. Keeping that gaze fixed 3 to 4 feet in front of you, not straining our neck. Feeling that nice burn in those triceps. Maybe visualizing some fun plans that you have. I, for one, am going to be making a Friendsgiving meal right after this, so some nice stuffing, veggies and stuff. So I think we're getting chicken instead of turkey, but it'll still be delicious. All right, we're gonna do 4 more and then stay down and pulse for 8. That's 3, 2, 1, staying down. We're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your hips onto the ground, feeling that burn in those triceps. I know I am. We're going to transition onto our knees just to stretch out those wrists a bit because we were putting a lot of weight on them. So flip that hand towards the mat so it's facing down, and just put your weight into it to stretch out that wrist a bit. And then you can transition to your other side, feeling that nice deep stretch. Excuse me. All right, we can go into our standing position now. We're going to continue to work our arms, all body weight workout. So meet me in a nice wide position like so. We're going to have the option to go into second position if you would like. We're going to start our arms workout. Not with arm circles this time. If you know me, I often start with those, but not this time. We'll do them in a bit. We're just going to start by facing our palms up towards the ceilings, straight out in front of us. We're going to pulse up for 2, then flip our palms so they're facing the back of the wall, and pulse back for 2. Flip up, pulse up, 2, back, 2. While we do these, make sure you're not locking your knees. We really never want to lock our knees to protect them. keeping a slight bend in them at all times. And if you're looking for some added work, you can just go down into second position grand plie. So those legs are working a little bit too while we work our arms. But we'll have plenty of time to work our legs. So if you feel like standing right now, absolutely that is an option for you today as well. It's a crazy time of year, and it's just incredible that you're all here with me right now working out, and whatever you get out of today's class will be incredible and worth it as you go into final season. All right, get it. Maybe starting to feel that burn a bit. If not, it'll come soon probably. You can always use light hand weights during these if you have them, if you're feeling extra brave, but you'll get a great workout even without them. We have 4 more. 3, 2. We have 1 more. We're not quite done, so don't drop those hands yet. We're going to face those palms up towards this, or down towards the ceiling, or the floor, excuse me. And we're gonna picture there's a nice beach ball right below our hands. And we're going to scoop under that beach ball so our palms are facing up, and then scoop over it. So nice big scooping motions. Maybe you can picture something festive if you want. I don't know, you can picture a turkey. That would be kind of weird, but you can picture it if you want. And if at any point you need to shake out your hands, they are not used to being up here for that long. I know mine aren't, so totally fine to drop them. Or if you're keeping them up here, get lost in the music, whatever music you're listening to. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now going to shrink that ball. So now it's a nice little tennis ball at the side of our hands, and we're doing tiny circles, tiny cups up. So maybe we're moving a bit faster now. The burn is probably definitely kicking in at this point. Maybe we're picturing snowballs. We're forming snowballs. Oh, that's fun. And we were forming a snowman before. That's better. That's more festive. So picture that if you want. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can take a minute, shake out those hands. We're not quite done yet with our arms portion, so bring those hands out to their sides again. This time we're gonna give them a nice 45-degree bend, and I promise we'd have some arm circles. They're a little bit different now, so we're just gonna, from our shoulders, move our hands in a nice circle while keeping that 45-degree bend. Once again, at any point during this, you wanna go down into second position. To have that added work, you can, or you can stay in standing. Ooh, my arms are shaking, they're burning. That's a good kind of burn. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. We're switching directions. We have 8 more, and then we'll shake them out for a minute. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Drop those hands for a second. We're not quite done with our arms portion yet, so bringing your arms back up, we're now going to raise the roof. Maybe we're picturing we're at a party. Maybe you're really just enjoying the music you're listening to right now. We're going to bring our hands above our head, making a nice 90-degree angle with our palms facing up. You can meet me down in second position, and we're going to straighten them above our head and lower. So it's like we're raising the roof. Or you can picture there's like a boulder, and you're lifting it up like a superhero. Whatever you need to envision today. We are creating our own friction here and tension since we don't have these weights. Feeling that nice burn. Burn so good, as we like to say. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring those hands and legs together. We're going to finish up our arms portion with our feet shoulder distance apart, starting by bringing our forearms together, leaning slightly forward around 45 degrees. We're going to do a little bicep curl. So keeping our forearms together with that slight bend, we're going to make a little fist with our hands and just curl up and straighten. So I'll give you a little side view. So this is just a nice way. Feels a little weird, a little wonky, but it's a way to work those biceps. in a slightly different way since we don't have any weights right now. As always, you want to add some weights you can, but this workout is designed to give you a great workout even without any weights. Creating that own tension in your hands. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping those forearms together, we're just going to place them together now so that our hands are touching like so. Keeping that flat back 45-degree bend forward, we're going to prayer pulse up. We're now working our chest. You can go to the beat of whatever music you're listening to if you want to. If it's the festive music, I hope you're enjoying it. It was my first time diving into listening to the festive music this time of year. And once you break that barrier, there's no going back, in my opinion. So I'm going to start listening to it, I think, a lot. But, you know, it's been a weird year. And I think if you want, we've all earned celebrating a little bit earlier. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. That finishes up our arms workout. Let's take a quick minute and stretch those arms before we go into our legs. So bring that right arm in front of you and bring that hand either in front of or behind the joint, but not touching it, to just give a nice stretch of that hand, keeping that slight bend in those legs. Maybe regaining your breath if you got out of breath or sweaty. Before we shoot that right hand behind our body, walking those fingers down our spine, using the other hand to push yourself down. And now we can switch to the other side. So bring that left hand across your body, using the right hand to grab it. Whew. Feeling that nice breath before shooting that left hand behind your body and walking those fingers down. I remember in gym class, we always used to have this as like one of the big tests. And I don't know if this was just a Virginia thing, but we'd have like tests in gym to see how flexible we were, how many pull-ups we could do. I was one of the kids who walked a mile, so that was not my strong suit. But we can go and transition into our bar workout. So we're going to be doing some work in second position and some work in some attitude. So we're going to start by going with one hand on the bar, feet in first position. Also, if at any point you need to grab some water, I encourage you to do so. I just felt my dry throat. Water is so important during any workout. All right, so with one hand on the bar, you can either have that hand out to the side, above you, or in your hip. I know we just did a lot of work, so totally fine to rest it. With that slight bend in that left inside leg, we're going to straighten our right leg out so it's turned out, meaning the inside of our knee is facing up towards the ceiling. So we're using that hip and that thigh to rotate over. So we're straightened and we rotate. And with that, we're now going to bend that leg so it's a nice 45-degree tilt. So even more so you can see that inside that knee. And this is called attitude. And we're just going to be doing kicks in this position. So we're lifting and lowering. So if you've been in one of my classes before with this move, you remember me saying, I like to picture, I'm a wow, I can't speak, guys. But you know what I'm saying. I'm playing with a puppet. Whoa, what a weird way to say that. But you can picture there's a string on your knee on the inside, and you're lifting and lowering. This is always a weird point in the week in my day where my mind's loopy and you guys just get to hear my weird Thursday at 5:45 p.m. thoughts. Making sure we're keeping that nice turnout, feeling that rotation in our legs. We're not opening up that hip too much. We're keeping it nice and square. We have 8 more, and then we're going to do pulse. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying up, we're doing tiny pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lowering that leg, we're going to just repeat that now with our leg towards the back. So I'm going to put both hands on the bar just so you can see me. If you have room, you don't have to, you can keep one hand on the bar. We're going to keep that nice first position. We're going to point our right leg out, then give it a nice bend in that leg, 45-degree bend. So now the outside of our knee is facing up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to be doing the same thing, lifting up and lowering. Now feeling that in our glutes, really feeling that upper thigh and lower glute using to lift and lower, making sure we're not pitching it forward. We're keeping a nice, pretty still upper body. We're only using that leg to lift. Our hips aren't opening up. They're nice and square. A nice burn. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower that leg. We're going to repeat that all on the other side, but I'm going to do a little something in between to change things up. So keeping one hand on the bar, we're going to shoot our right leg out. So you have a nice wide stance to go into second position. With that one hand on the bar, we're just going to be doing grand plie at first, shooting those legs out and then straightening above. So like we were doing in the warm-up, just getting you acquainted with this position, nice neutral spine. Our glutes aren't tucked in or out. Our core is engaged. Knees not going in front of those toes. Good work. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. This time when we go down, we're only going to go halfway up, then all the way down. So we're working in that mid-range now. We're never straightening our legs. Maybe our legs are starting to shake a bit because our muscles aren't used to being in this mid-range. Still keeping that positioning. We're just now only going halfway up and all the way down. Good work, everyone. I can't see all of you if you're watching live or even if you're watching in the future at some point. Hope the future is going well. Hope the world is doing okay. That's the best we can hope for at this point. All right, we have 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we're going to stay down and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. We're going to finish up by doing what we like to call some bar assemblées. So staying in this second position, we're going to shift our weight to our inside leg, so our left leg, and with a flexed foot, we're going to cross that right leg in front and then come back out. So cross and out. You can lift that hand above your head when you come up and down, feeling nice. Those inside of your thighs, squeeze and lower. Squeeze. Those hips staying square. They're not getting all opening and wobbly and stuff. Feeling that nice squeeze. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. Straightening those legs. We're going to repeat that again with a little twist. But first, we're going to do our attitude on our left side. So you can switch sides on the bar. I'm just going to work my inside leg so I can still face you. But coming in second position or first position, so a nice slight V, hand on the bar, we're going to point that opposite leg out. So for me, that's my left leg. Keeping a slight bend in that standing leg, we're going to create attitude. So inside of that knee facing up, pointed toe, hip square, and we're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Maybe thinking about whatever your plans are for this week. If you have fun plans for break. Mine are to do nothing and watch a lot of movies with my parents. I got a running list going. We're gonna watch some cheesy Hallmark ones and then some new ones that come out. Also, of course, my yearly rewatch of The Great British Bake Off, one of my favorite shows. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. We're staying up and pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that foot. We're going to now point that in the back. So I'm going to put both my hands on the bar again, just so I can still kind of see you guys. And with that, still staying in that first position, we're going to point our left leg out, put it in attitude, meaning the inside of our knee is now facing up towards the bar. With a slight bend in that front leg, we're going to lift and lower. Really feeling that nice squeeze in that upper thigh and lower glute. Making sure we're not tilting forward too much, really keeping a nice stationary upper body. It's very strange. Maybe some of you who are on campus are feeling this. The weather, not today. The past few days have been really nice, but it's the end of the semester, which like bends my mind because I'm used to the end of semester, the weather being pretty terrible all around. Bad for me mood, but the weather's nice, which I guess is good. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. We're staying up and pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. We're gonna finish up our legs portion by switching to our other side. I'm not gonna switch my bar, but I'll just kind of just do a balance. But we're gonna start by going into our second position, plie. But this time, instead of being just a normal grand plie, you have the option to lift those feet up into releve and just do this all in releve this time. So we're gonna start by doing the full range plies. Bring that arm out to the side and straighten. So we're gonna do this, the mid, the pulse, all in releve, and then come down to do our bar assemblées before we transition to our core workout. These 45-minute classes always zoom by. It's crazy. All right, we have 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we're going to stay down, go halfway up, all the way down, halfway up, the way down. Maybe those legs are starting to shake a bit more. Mine certainly are, not that they're in releve. You want to give that arm a rest. You can always put that leg on, or that arm on the hip, making sure you're not letting your ankles roll around. You're keeping it nice and controlled. So we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're staying down now and pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Straightening those legs. We're going to transition to our other side. I'm going to use my bed as a slight bar. We're going to shoot those legs onto second position to finish up with our bar assemblées. So coming into second position, we're not going to be in releve, but we're just going to shift our weight to our right leg this time, or whatever leg you didn't do before. Cross that left leg in front with a flexed foot, feeling those legs squeeze, and then coming back down. If you want to try it, like me with no bar, do a balance challenge, you certainly can. But if you want to use that bar, that is also always an excellent option as well. Pulsing, I'm not pulsing. We're going up and down. Hope you guys are enjoying the music, whatever you're listening to. I love these workouts. You can always get lost in them. I'm sad I can't listen along, but I promise I'm there listening in spirit. We have 4, 3, 2, last 1. Good work, everyone. Take a minute, regain your breath. We're gonna transition into one more little leg move, then our core. I'm gonna cool down. Might go a minute or two over. I apologize for that, but we started a minute or two late, so I hope that is okay with you all. So you can grab a quick sip of water before meeting me on our mat. We're just going to start by doing, well, we're gonna finish our leg workout by just doing some donkey kicks. So meeting me in a nice tabletop position. We're gonna keep those feet flexed. We're just going to kick that right leg up towards the ceiling, nice 90-degree bend, and bring it back down. We're gonna make sure our back isn't drooping or curving. We have a nice engaged core, so it's a flat back. Our hips aren't opening up. You're feeling that nice in the back of that glute, upper thigh. We're kicking up and lowering. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower, we're going to switch to our opposite leg. For me, that's my left, and that will finish up our leg workout. So we're going to kick that left leg up, nice 90-degree bend, and lower. Kick up. I know your legs are probably feeling like jello right now. Mine certainly are. But we're getting a nice killer workout as our last virtual bar class before the end of the semester. Kicking up and lowering. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. We're staying up and pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job, guys. Maybe shoot back out into child's pose for a minute. We're going to transition into our core workout and then our cool down. So if you would like to, you can grab a quick sip of water. Oh, I'm pushing everything around. You can meet me in a seated position, feet bent in front of you. We're going to go down into our earthquake pose and then do some movements to target our obliques before we target our core, or abdominal. So coming down into an earthquake position, you're going to have your feet, hands on the side of your body, lean back around 45 degrees, nice and engaged core, gaze 3 to 4 feet in front of you. And we're just gonna lean back until we start to feel that core maybe tighten a bit, start to shake a bit. That's our earthquake pose. We're gonna stay here, straightening our hands, and we're just going to straighten up, straightening that back, and then coming back down to our earthquake position. So lift up, you can lift those hands above your head if you like, and then lower back down. Lift above, and lower. Making sure we're really using that core to lift us, we're not using momentum. Lifting up and lower. In bar, we love doing this earthquake position. I wish we could do it with some bender balls, but some of my other workouts, we do them with a throw pillow. So keep an eye out for those on our YouTube page. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we're going to stay down and we're just going to twist to the side, tap our side a little bit, and then tap to the other side. So we're just targeting those obliques. And now you can either stay here, or if you're looking for an added option, you can lift those legs off the ground and just do this. You'll probably start shaking. I certainly am. We have 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up, roll in front of you, maybe hug those legs for a minute with a nice flat back. We're gonna roll onto our back to do some more abdominal work. So bring your legs down, your back down, nice flat back. The bottom of that spine is pressed in towards the ground. There's no gap there. I'm gonna scoot forward so I'm in the light. We're just going to start by bringing our legs into a nice butterfly position. So our feet are touched together. We still have that bottom of our back touching the ground. We're going to bring our arms like so in between our hands, and we're going to use that core, especially our upper core, abdominals right here, to crunch up, looking in between our hands, and then lower. So we're really looking on this upper core muscles. Make sure here, if at any point your neck feels strained, you can take one of those hands, create a nice little bucket to offshoot some of the tension in your neck. Now, some of these movements can cause a little bit of a strain. And these workouts are supposed to challenge you and maybe burn a bit, but they're never supposed to hurt. So if that ever happens at any workout, please stop. Maybe ask me if you have any questions, or just take a minute and regain your breath. Now, if you're looking for an added option, you don't have to lower yourself off to the ground. You can just crunch up and lower down a bit. Never letting your shoulders rest. We have 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower down. We're not quite done with our core workout, but we're getting close, and then we'll finish up the work of our class. So You can bring those legs up. So you're in a little reverse tabletop. So your knees are above your hips, toes are pointed. You have that bottom of your back still nice and glued to the ground. We're just going to lower and lift those legs. So tapping one leg, then the other. And while we do so, once we get comfortable, you can bring those hands to the sides of your heads to make a nice little bucket. And you can lift those shoulders off the ground to bring opposite knee to opposite elbow. And once again, if you're looking for a little bit of an added option, just don't let those shoulders fall onto the ground. We have 4 more that we're going to add on. 3, 2, 1. This time, when you go to the opposite side, you're going to pulse. 2, 3, and switch. 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 Whew. We're going to finish up by adding on, by making this a bicycle movement. So continue your pulsing. I'm going to demonstrate for our bicycle. We're just going to shoot our leg out straight in front of us, like so, but we're just going to speed it up like this. So we're going to be doing 20 seconds of that as our finisher. So pick your option, set your intention as we finish up the work for today's class. Everyone join me whatever option you want to do. We're going for 20 seconds. Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job, guys. Lower down to the mat. Straighten those legs out in front of you. Straighten those arms. We're going to go into our cool down section. Maybe go to the end of my playlist if you're on it. I have some more calm music, I believe. So just take a moment, regain your breath. Maybe spread those legs out nice and wide, those arms. Breathing in and exhaling. One more breath in. Hug those knees in towards your body. Give them a nice hug. Cross that right leg on top of that left leg so you have a nice 90-degree bend, and use that right hand to push that right knee out. Very nice glute stretch. During this stretching portion, I encourage you to just thank your body for all the work it just did. It's such a stressful time of year, switching legs, and you took some time out of your day to dedicate time to your body and your mind and just yourself. A lot of times we can get caught up in a lot of things, and I don't think it's a wrong thing to want to devote just some time for yourself, however you want to spend that. So I applaud you. And the stretching is just our gift to our body before we go into our night and into finals. Good. Bring those knees in one more time before we shoot them out and flip onto our back. So flipping onto your stomach, looking down towards the mat. Plant those hands right by your shoulders. We're going to push ourselves up into a nice Cobra Stretch. Feeling that nice deep stretch of that core. Before planting those legs onto the ground for a nice upward dog, we're going to come up and bring that right leg forward, walking our hands so that our foot is on the outside of our right hand for a nice hip opener stretch. Leaning into that for a second, feeling that hip open before dropping that knee onto the ground, walking that right leg in and just leaning a little bit more into that low lunge. Feeling that nice deep stretch. Good. Stretch that right leg out. Bring your left leg in on the outside of that left hand for hip opener stretch. I love these stretches. I just do them randomly throughout the day. My hips can get very tight, so this always feels so good. We're walking that foot in for a lunge position, dropping our right knee to the ground to lean in deeper for a nice deeper stretch. Good work. Breathe in one more time. Good. Shoot that left leg out. Walk your hands in. So you are now in a standing position, keeping that lower body draped over you. Stretch your hands, your fingers as close to your toes as you can. Maybe walking them out a bit for a nice deeper stretch. Walking those fingers back so you're looking in between your legs before walking them back in towards the center. One more second in the stretch. All right, we're going to start rolling up. So stacking each vertebra of your spine on top of each vertebra, slowly rolling up. Feeling each part of your body, your shoulders, and your neck, and finally your head. We're going to face the front of the room to finish up our stretch today. Take your left hand, give a slight tug on that neck, feel that nice stretch. We did a lot of work on our arms. We're switching sides to our right hand. Feeling that stretch on the other side. Good work, everyone. And to finish up our class, I'm just going to have you walk your feet in, bring your hands above your body, and do a nice big body stretch, thinking about all the intentions that you met and surpassed today, this week, this semester, this year. It's been a crazy year. Stretch to the right, feeling that side of your body stretch. We made it through a semester, which I know many of us didn't expect, and kudos to everyone. We're so close, and we have a lot of good things to look forward to. I think, if anything, this week has shown. We can switch over to our left side now, feeling that nice deep stretch. Good work. And then bringing those hands above our body for one final full body stretch, like we're waking up in the morning. And then bringing our hands to heart center. Thank you all so much. That finishes today's class. I'm going to stop our recording now. How do I do that? Oh, there we go.